What's going on, family? Welcome back to the channel. I am Corey, one half of HisHerbs, and we're just some small time, soon to be big time gardeners, growing food in the high desert of Southern California. Today, guys, I just wanted to drop in real quick, give you an update as to what's happening with us in our little rodent problem, aka the squirrels. The squirrels world. Squirrels are on the loose, and they doing all the damage that they can, man. And I just want to give you guys a quick update to show you guys how it's been going for us when dealing with these things. But first of all, let me tell you this: squirrels are these creatures are smarter than what I give them credit for, and more resilient. They're up to the challenge. They are definitely up to the challenge. They are down for the fight. They want. Remember when I said I wanted all the smoke? They are more than happy to give it, right? So it's been a challenge with these squirrels so far, and I'm gonna just give you an update as to what's been going on. So you guys remember when I planted strawberries in this row right here? Whatever is in my garden has dug out my strawberries. I don't think that there's just squirrels in the garden. I think we have a raccoon or something else in our garden as well, and these strawberries are now gone. Look at this. Like all my strawberries right there are gone. You guys remember the strawberries I had growing in the cement tubs? Well, here they are. Here they are, all gone, dug up by whatever's in the garden. Had one strawberry left in there as well. That's gone. That's crazy, right? So all the strawberries are gone, been dug up. And whatever it is, it's not just, it's just digging up in random spots throughout the garden, which I don't understand. So I understand the strawberries that were in the rows that I just showed you, not the ones in the containers, the ones that were actually in the rows. I understand why those are dug up because I was watering those plus some areas of the tomato rows with the fish mulch. So I'm like, okay, if this is like a raccoon or something, it makes sense that they would go after the fish, whatever that fishy smell is, right? They're trying to find it. They're going to dig down. They're going to try to find it. But they're also digging in places where we don't even have anything growing in it. I mean, it died. We pulled it out. I have a couple of plants where I came out one day and all the mulch and some of the dirt was kicked out of the planter. So I don't understand why they're digging in there because we haven't watered it. We haven't fertilized in that container in a minute. But they're digging in there. So I don't know why they're attacking those, but I understand the other ones. And that's what makes me think that it's more than just the squirrels. I don't know. We're gonna have to set up some cameras, get some footage out here, and see what's actually been going on in our garden when we're away. So at this point, I'm gonna have to set more traps because I wasn't in the garden the other day, but I peeked over the fence and I saw two squirrels scurry about in the garden. It's like they saw me peeking in and they were like, "Choo!" They took off. And you know, "Choo!" It's like the fastest you can go in in the universe. Like nothing's faster than "pew," right? But they rolled out. And oh, and look at here. They've been, like I told you, they've been busy. So we had a Georgia rattlesnake put out a small melon, and the vine ended up getting kinked. So the vine, you know, the melon stopped growing at this size. But look at there. It's scratching at the melon, trying to get to the melon. I'm surprised that this is actually still whole and hadn't been bitten. But all I'm gonna do now is use this melon and use these strawberries for a trap. I'm gonna bait the trap with either the strawberries or the melon. And yeah, we're gonna go from there and try to catch the squirrels that are hovering around the garden. Like I said, I saw two yesterday. I'm gonna set this trap again. So far, we've caught four or five squirrels. So the trap has been working. I just need more traps because there's just more squirrels. So I'm gonna go ahead and bait these traps and just go from there, y'all. All right. So before I go, I want to kind of help somebody along the way who may be having this same problem with ground squirrels or raccoons or whatever other vermin may be attacking your garden, right? This is our first year actually having to deal with critters like this, right? So the year, try to make this story as short as I possibly can. So our first year gardening, we get the chickens, and this is why I believe that we have a raccoon issue. I just don't know where they are, right? Because there's not a lot of trees around here. But our first year gardening, we had uh, the big crate, the big cage where the chickens were. We had the big cage set up with the chickens in it, right? With the older chickens, the ones we had maybe 6, 7 months. We went and bought another batch of chickens, and as they grew, we brought them outside. We only had 2 left, and we brought them outside and put them in a smaller cage right next to the big crate with the big cage with the other chickens, because we wanted them to see each other so they can get used to the other chickens being around. And I know they're gonna have the pecking order and all that stuff, but they wouldn't attack them to the point of killing them, hopefully, right? So we wanted them to just familiarize themselves with each other. Okay, so we had them sitting right next to each other. So what we would do is on the smaller cage with the 2 chickens in it, we had a blanket, right? And at night we would let it down so that they could sleep and wouldn't be affected by the cool, the wind or whatever. And then in the morning we just roll it up. Well, one night I forget to put it down. So the next morning I come back, and now keep in mind the cloth, the blanket covers basically the entire top of the crate that they're in. Come out the next morning, and there's 1 chicken missing. The cage is locked. And the guts, there's chicken guts sitting on top of the blanket, on top of the cage. And I'm like, what the world? Like, how is this happening? Like, what is this? A polite raccoon or something? Like, he unlocked it, grabbed the chicken, and then locked the cage behind him. Like, anyway, so it's got the chicken guts on top of the blanket, and I never did find out what actually happened, because I'm like, how did it? There wasn't a feather, there wasn't a bone, there wasn't a carcass, there was nothing left of this chicken except for the intestines. Right behind it, we had our old small greenhouse, the little ones you get from Tractor Supply. And in there, I just found a bunch of feathers, but no bones, no body, no blood, no nothing, y'all. So at that point, we realized that I'm like, okay, this had to be a raccoon, because I don't know what else could do this. Like, it wasn't a snake. It could it's craziness. So, but shortly after that, our 2 cats that we had started attracting a lot of cats to the yard, like milkshakes. Then we got, like, literally, no lie, about 12 or 13 cats just hanging around our property at any given point. And they would go through the garden and everything. And at the time, I didn't like it because they were pooping in the beds, right? So I'm like, man, I'm tired of them pooping in the beds. I got to keep digging this stuff out. We got to get rid of these cats. Well, the cats end up leaving on their own, right? Just over time, slowly but surely, they just stopped coming around. Because we always had cats around the property, we've never had a problem with, like, raccoons and squirrels. I didn't think that, I didn't be like, I was never like, oh, well, let me keep these here just in case, or whatever, right? In hindsight, I would have probably put food out and did what I can to keep the cats around, but they left, no big deal. So this is our first year actually having to deal with pests like that, because we have no cats now. Well, we have cats. We have a cat, but and she's making her presence felt in the garden a little bit. She's going through the garden and she's peeing, and I'm assuming she's pooping too. So hopefully that's going to help to deter some of these squirrels, right? So hopefully that's going to help get rid of some of these squirrels or raccoons or whatever that we got floating around here. So my advice to you guys, if you're struggling like that and you have your garden and you want to protect your garden, because it takes a lot to get this stuff to grow, and we don't want these animals coming and eating our hard work, right? Get you some cats. Go down to the shelter, especially shelters that euthanize the animals. Go down there, grab you some animals, some cats, put them in your yard, put some food in your yard, so they'll stay in the garden, right? So, or they'll at least frequent the garden, because they know that's where the food and the water and all that good stuff is at, right? And that, to me, is the best and the lowest cost pest control for your garden. Now we do, of course you got to buy cat food, but how much is a bag of cat food, and how long would that last if you got a couple of cats? Because trust me, that cat ain't gonna go for nobody else eating their food, right? So that to me, that's my advice to you. If you guys have the same issues with the squirrels or the raccoons, get you some cats, get you some dogs, and we've actually seen it work with a garden friend of ours. She has a few acres that she's gardening in, and she does herbal stuff. And she does she sells her herbal. She makes herbal remedies, tinctures, all this herbal stuff, and she sells it. So that's her business. And she got I think she got like six, five, six, seven cats, just garden cats, and they just stay in her garden. She feeds them, and at night they roam and patrol, and they do what they do. So, and like I said, it's just costing her some cat food and probably a couple of rubs every now and again, you know. But that's to me, that's the cheapest. I think I just saw one of them squirrels. To me, that's the cheapest, most cost-effective way to manage that level of pests in your garden. I wish they would go after the hornworms too, but can't have everything, right? So just wanted to stop in and let you guys know what was going on with us and our pest thing. We're still working at it. We're still out here trapping and dispatching these squirrels, um, because they're doing more than like I said, they started off with eating all the fruit off the trees. So the pomegranates, the peaches that we had growing, the grapes, the all that stuff. Like they came, they saw, they conquered, right? Then they moved when those things were gone. Then they moved to the vegetables. So they started eating the pumpkins, the peppers. They even eating the peppers, not even the big peppers. They ate the big peppers that were developed, and then they started eating the little buds. I'm like, come on, man, leave me something. But the digging up you saw they dug up the strawberries. So yeah, they got to go. They're still working on it. So anyway, like I said, just wanted to catch you guys up, let you know how that was going with us. And any further updates, I will let you know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.